Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. I'm Brett, and on today's video of Small Engine Restore, we are going to continue with this 5 horsepower Briggs rebuild. So, let's stop talking and let's get building. Alright, so where we left off in the last video, we'd finished lapping the valves. They're all ready to go in, but until we can do that, because we're going to have to do the valve clearances, etc. Before we can do that, we have to add some other components, such as the lifters, the cam, the crankshaft, and the piston. And before we can do that, we need to put a couple of oil seals in, or at least this one for now anyway. So let's get on with that. Okay, so as you can plainly see here, and you might have seen it in the last video, I don't have a genuine gasket set, etc. I would like to use Briggs, but at the time I bought this, I really just didn't have the money for, you know, genuine parts. But if you can afford them, get the genuine stuff. It's just generally better. But this was an inexpensive aftermarket set. It even comes with the oil seals and gaskets. I'm not even going to use on this project because they're for different Briggs. I think these belong to like some vertical shaft engines. But for now, we'll put this little oil seal in, and then we'll carry on. Okay. So, this, believe it or not, is the first time I have ever replaced oil seals on a small engine. And I've had, alright, I've only been doing it for 4 years, but I've had quite a few Briggs and Strattons come through my shed, and I've never seen one that leaks around the oil seal. But, there you go. We'll just tap this in. And we're good to go. Now, again, a first for me, some assembly lube. I've never ever used assembly lube before. Again, mainly because of the cost. These are sort of about £8, £8 to £10, depending on which one you buy. This is where, now, I did say in the other video, and I forgot to show you, the 3-in-1 oil that everybody has in the shed in the UK pretty much. And anyone who's got one knows that one of these will last you about 30 years. In fact, I think this one actually was my granddad's. But it did run out, this one. And what I did for reassembling engines is I filled it with some SEA 30, which is basically the oil that will be inside the engine when you fill it up. It just made sense to me to lube everything with the same oil that's going to be slopping around. So that is an option, and that's always worked for me. But I thought I'd step it up and look a bit more professional and get some assembly lube. Okay, so we're going to put the cam in, the crankshaft in, and then we can put the lifters and the cam in. So I'm going to put some assembly lube in around this oil seal. It's kind of like a sticky jelly oil is what it is. Okay, and then we'll put some on the crankshaft itself. And there we have it. Okay, just make sure you guys can see. So now we'll put the lifters in, the valve lifters. There's one that side. And one there. Okay, so now we can put the camshaft in, making sure, of course, there's a timer mark on here, and there is one when it sits in the, there you go, there's one on the camshaft as well, a little tiny one. So let's get all lubed. Making sure, of course, that we are lined up with the two timer marks. It's all good. And now we can put the piston in. Okay, now before I put the piston in, I am going to put some of the oil I was talking about, the SEA 30, because that's basically what's going to be in this chamber, right? So I'm just going to lubricate the chamber walls with all that. And the piston itself. Now you've got to remember, the piston rings have got to be spaced out evenly. You can't have the gaps all in the same order. There's 3 of them, so it's not hard to work out how to space them out. Now, I don't have a piston ring compressor. I did buy one, but it was too big. So I've basically got to do it by hand, by squeezing it with my fingers. And then knocking it in, which is not an easy process. At all. And my arms are just in the way here. Basically, I've got to compress these rings and then knock it down bit by bit. Okay, sorry I can't show you the full, I don't know how to do it without being in the way of you guys. But you get the idea. But you're supposed to have a metal chamber that you tighten up and it squeezes all the rings and makes it very easy, which is next on the shopping list. But I'll do this and I'll come back, guys. Okay, the piston's in, and I'm just now knocking it down so it meets with the camshaft, and then we can put some more lube in here. Put the end cap on. Okay, so bit of lube in the end cap. Get that in position, like so. You need to put the bolts in, but with this oil slinger as well, which is basically what this is. As it goes round, it flicks the oil about all over the engine. It's never the easiest bit. Hang on, because I've got greasy fingers, I can't grip nothing. There we go. So I'll kind of hold that in place. I'll get this tightened up, finger tight, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, now the trouble I've got now is every single nut on here and bolt has a certain torque spec, which I've written down here. I've got from various places, and the piston end cap torque is 100-inch foot-pounds. The problem I got is the torque bar I've got is massive. That won't go in here. So for this, I am literally going to have to judge it myself until I think it's tight enough. And that should do it. Alright guys, so now we have, once I get a towel because my hands are all greasy, a working piston. Now we can check the valves. So I'll just put these in with a bit of lube. Actually, I'll just put some oil on for now. So we have to get it so that they're both down and we're at top dead centre. Now we can check the gaps on the valves. Okay, so according to my extensive research of watching the likes of other people on YouTube, Musty One, Darrell, Road King, the intake is supposed to be between 5 and 7 thousandths to 6 basically. So we've got 6 thousandths here. So I'll hold the intake down and go between the lifter and the valve, and that is about perfect. And the exhaust is 9 till 11 thousandths, so we'll go with 10. And just a slight bit of resistance. It's probably closer to 11 that, but yeah, so we're all good to go. Alright guys, I'm going to try and film this. It doesn't always work out for me, but we're going to put the valve springs on now. I say it don't work out for me because I tend to get annoyed with this shit, but I do have a compressor tool. I still don't like using them. This is the only part of an engine build I don't like. So we've got the keeper, one hole's bigger than the other. We want to try and keep that facing downwards. Let me get this right. Yeah. See, I'm not even prepared now. So we have the hole facing down. We compress the spring. See, these things, I hate these things. I think it's because I'm so heavy-handed, and then from fiddling I start shaking. So we can press that up like so. and then get the valve down inside. And release. Ta-da! And there we have it. That was actually a lot painless than normal. But that's in. So I'll do the other one and then we'll continue. Okay, both springs are in, guys. So just to show you, I have to clean my hands. The valves are now working lovely with the piston. Ta-da! Okay guys, so the next thing now is to put the excuse me, crankcase on. So I need another oil seal and the gasket. And I have just realised the gasket's wrong. The gasket is not for this Briggs. It's wrong, so I'm going to have to get another gasket. Not that I'm mad to you guys, because it'll be instant for you. But I am rather annoyed. Anyway, the seals are the same, I think. Nope. The seal is wrong as well. Full of professionalism. I'll be back. Okay guys, it's the next day. What I've done is I've ordered some genuine parts, but I wanted to get this video out there. So for the time being, I took the liberty of making my own gasket. I had some gasket material, some sheets laying around. This one was perfect. I did it off camera because I didn't want this video to be too long. If you do want to see how to make your own gaskets, leave a comment. I'll certainly do a video in the future. But for now, just to get this sort of finished for this episode, if you like, I went ahead and made my own. And it goes that way. So we'll get this on. I quickly wire wheeled some old bolts. We'll grease these up. Like I say, at some point I'm going to be rebuilding this again to put it on a mini bike or something. So at that point I'll put all the genuine parts on. But for now, let's get some gasket sealant on here, get the gasket on, and get this video finished. Okay, this is another first. Ooh, another first for me, as you can see. I've never put gasket sealant on before, but I'm trying to get proper. This just helps give it an extra seal. It doesn't, you know, you wouldn't put this on in sort of replacement of a gasket. It just helps it. Okay. So, let's get this set on here. The other thing is it helps you to set the gasket in place before you do anything else. Alright. Need to do a bit of oiling. Let me get my little mallet. Although I put the original old seal on as well. just for now. Okay, I'll get these bolts in, and I need to find my tech sheet because these are a certain torque. I think that's 120 inch foot-pounds something. I don't know, that's all new to me. But anyway, I'll put these on. Forgot to do what I said I was going to do. Put a bit of grease on these. Didn't remind me, did you? Alright guys, so there we have it. We're all set up now for this video. In the next video we'll get the head on, get the valve cover gasket on, and the coil, etc, get a spark going. Thanks for joining me again in the man cave, guys. Good health to you, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Ta-da.